Answers of an Alien from Andromeda, Video 131, March 7, 2015. Mythy, after the opening of contacts, how we can relate to beings levels 2, 3, 4, 5. How will we recognize it and how we should act, doing reverence or what? No. The level is not perceived as a visible aura, it is rather a feeling of being with someone that conveys understanding and trust. There will be no obeisance, you will only realize the levels in socializing with certain breeds. If you question any of them what level it is, it will certainly answer that it does not matter to him, so he will always prefer not to categorize. In our fleet we have people of different levels, and of course the lowest is always learning from the greatest, and this will lead to personal development much faster. In our fleet the crew is all part of the same team and all with the same importance in their roles. A team is oriented to conduct cohesive, and if a party fails the whole teamwork may be in vain. Imagine one of your cars with an engine of high technology, special tires, aerodynamic body and a beautiful design. Imagine you are traveling and an unimpressive accelerator cable breaks. At this point that unimpressive cable now has all the importance to the high-tech set. So always give value to small things, as the major could not have any function without them. Mythy, many are speculating on the arising destruction of polar reversal. You have any more information? You have to take into consideration that if you look at the compass, it will only show the movement of the surface of the planet with respect to the central magnetic core. This is called magnetic declination, and it's happening slowly due to the great inertia of the nucleus. Even if your planet turns upside down literally, the compass will be still pointing to the same relative direction, geographically speaking. What is happening in terms of impact by the remoteness of the counterweight is the tilt of the planet's rotation axis, with respect to the orbital plane, which in turn is related to the Sun at the center of the system. The compass cannot move, but still you will see the Sun rising further south and setting further north. The night stellar references will certainly be different from other that you are used to observe, and the Moon will have another route in the sky. These major changes in the geographical positions of the points of support from the gravitational forces that keeps you tied to the system is what can generate large tectonic changes. Mythy, could you confirm the usefulness of Artemisia, in synergy with the iron, for the treatment of cancer? As I have explained, you can compare the cancer to a mold process in the human body caused by fungi. Imagine a large fungus the size of an ant. You can kill this ant in several ways: stepping, poisoning, drowning, and any of these forms you will eliminate the plague. Artemisia is one of them, fighting the plague directly. But you see, it is not better to prevent pests from entering your home than having to worry about killing them? For this, the simplest and direct to expel that there are already and prevent others from entering is to make the environment unsuitable for this plague, and this will be simply achieved by keeping your body with basic pH. The simplest way is usually the most effective. Take a tablespoon of baking soda twice a day or apple cider vinegar, good source 10 milliliters twice daily. Both methods keep your basic pH. Both regimes can be taken with water or lemonade to disguise the taste. You do not need anything else to fight and prevent cancer. Mythy, has there been an explosion on Mars? Caused by what? Mars, just as the Earth, is going through the influences of the system as a whole. As Mars is cold longer maintain large deposits of water in underground layers, true oceans. with global warming by thickening of the atmospheric layer caused by the atmosphere generators being used there a few years, these explosions of steam pressure will happen until much of that groundwater is sprayed into the air as huge geysers balancing the pressure internal to a planet's equilibrium point. In this new context, you can watch new lakes and oceans increasing on the surface with the rains that will have a similar cycle as the planet Earth. Pay attention to your moon, some tests will be done there. I cannot comment much about to be scientific initiative of the CG. Mythi, regarding the ancient empires that ruled the planet Earth in antiquity. At what level were the ancient reptilian beings who enslaved other races to do their bidding? They were level 1 technologically speaking. Regarding reptilians races, they do not have the same line of feelings that the humanoids, so has the awareness levels of development of coexistence with other races is very little developed. That is, they have little ability to sense or compassion. Because they are cold-blooded organisms with other physical cerebral constitution, they are right with regard to their genetic characteristics. Their problems with insectoid and humanoids will always exist on a smaller scale with more developed reptilians races and on a larger scale with the level 1 circulating through the galaxies. Mythi, you mentioned that beings at higher levels can regress to lower levels. Is this done by choice or are other factors involved? When a being is closely linked to a particular cradle of culture, he can choose to participate in the development of their peers by personal initiative, nothing is imposed accordingly. When the fourth dimension, it can verify the faults or needs that your race is going through or will go in a certain period, and this may lead him to apply for return and bring some light to assist his people to spend more quickly by these procedures for development. Mythi, are there beings in the universe with high technology functioning at 0 level? Yes. They are breeds that have managed to contact other earlier races and stole technology, benefiting from the good faith of his friends. All races 0 that steal technologies are considered pirates, and they are persecuted by the system when detected by ships of galactic communities. Usually these races using stolen equipment and enslaved crews to handle the equipment and starships that would not obey commands of their own race. The main objectives of these elements is to continue appropriating the commercial spacecraft of other races, and in illegal mining on planets and nearby systems. When these cultures are identified, its planets receive a more enhanced type of force field, much stronger than your energy belt Van Allen. Mythi, are the levels indicative of how good a soul is? The higher one goes up in levels the more angelic they become. See, the term angelic is very subjective to your religious roots. The higher the level of a race, the greater the harmony of the society. With increasing awareness of the role we play in the universe, greater respect for life, greater the pleasure of helping the disadvantaged by development. If this can serve as an interpretation of the term angelic, so is it. Mythi, some are wondering your opinion about the level of our volunteer base that reach 1,500 people, scattered in various regions of the planet. In today's numbers, we have recorded the frequency of 1485 volunteers. Of these volunteers, 920 were considered serious, and 485 are speculators who only fear for themselves or their families. All these volunteers are people of good indole. We proud to have them helping our crews and other crews participants in the event's control at the service of galactical community. They will join many Pleiadians that are integrated in your society and will also work with the crews if necessary. Mythi, if we are in the third dimension, what kind of reality exists in 1 and 2, has living beings there? See, first and second dimensions are part of the third, are only observation reference points of existing plans to form the third. No being, smart or not, live in these plans but in all of them, the dimension in which we live. Well friends, I hope you get well while remaining attentive to the movements of your governments. As for the climate, nature will take care of the necessary changes and depends of you to take the necessary initiatives and possible in this period.